The Garden Report is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
All right, let's get to the big one here. Celtics, all the reporting was that once they got to Vegas, them and Jaylen would sit down, get this contract done pretty quickly, and still none. 9 days later after July began. I don't know if the word's panic, Josue, but the alarm should be ringing on Jaylen Brown and this extension. I don't know what's going to happen from here. I've suspected all along that they're probably weighing every option here, and I did a podcast with Sean Heiken earlier where we debated the Lillard thing again, and I don't think that's going to go away as long as Lillard's available here and that deal's not done. So I don't know if these two sides are going to leave Vegas with a contract, Josue. I haven't heard anything in that direction. Jaylen hasn't been around either game so far. I know he's doing events around here and the such. His family was at the game today, his brother Quentin. And, you know, Jason was at the first game. No Jason here today at the second game. So I don't have a ton new on this, but the chatter's beginning out here. Everyone's wondering why this deal is not done. I'd say in terms of all the conversations going on out here, number one's Lillard, of course. But number two is why hasn't this deal gotten done with Jaylen?
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know. I feel like
more than a little at this point.
Yeah, that's true. It's more than a little. If they leave Vegas without getting this done, then yeah, it's gonna get really complicated. I feel like, because if you're Jaylen Brown, you're like, which direction are we going in here, right? I mean, you traded for Kristaps Porzingis. We're trying to iron out this deal. I mean, we talked about it the last time we spoke, right? That negotiating is obviously part of the process, but at what point do you say, well, you know, do you want to get this done right now or not? You know, if you're Jaylen, right? And is the Damian Lillard thing a factor? If I'm Jaylen, I can't help but wonder that. You know, are you trying to get into that? You know, is that a last minute thing that you're trying to pull off? Is it one of those, like, if we don't get him, Miami will? You know, there's a lot of things that if I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm thinking about in the sense of where this team's, you know, where their head is at. And you wonder if he's wanting the ultimate max. You know, that's obviously something that, you know, is worth considering as well. Is it a number thing? Are the Celtics trying to, again, throughout the negotiating, is he offended? Is it something like that? That's something that they can't get past at this point. You wonder. But if they don't get this thing done soon, I mean, yeah, it's going to get really interesting. And obviously, until Damian Lillard situation irons itself out, that's always going to be in the back of his mind. It's going to be in the back of a lot of people's mind. Are the Celtics trying to make that last minute deal to prevent a team like the Miami Heat acquiring Damian Lillard? And is Jaylen Brown involved, or is he not involved? I don't know. It's hard to say. But obviously, when you think about, you know, what's in his contract, right? I mean, the second he signs, you can't trade him for at least a year. So obviously, everyone's going to think that when you got all these rumors swirling around Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, and when a lot of this reporting coming out seems like it's coming from the Celtics in terms of optimism of getting the deal done, you have to wonder if it is Jaylen. Is he trying to make them sweat? Is he trying to add as much to this deal as he possibly can? I don't think it's numbers that they're debating here. I think there was generally interest on both sides here in terms of doing a Supermax. That was the goal all along, was getting that All-NBA so you could push this number to him. And I don't think there's a huge benefit to lowballing him. In fact, now that you sent Grant Williams out, you know, you're able to use that luxury tax saving to actually give Brown this contract here. So I don't think it's a number thing. I don't think it's a salary thing. I don't think it's a contract thing. You have to ask at this point and wonder, does Jaylen want to lock himself in for 5 years with the Celtics? Or does he want to explore free agency next summer? Because this deal, of course, will be there next summer if the Celtics do want to keep him at that point. But if you're Jaylen, you also have to wonder, if you're not going to sign an extension, will this team trade you on your one-year deal here? Because you're risking a lot if you're the Celtics going to free agency next summer. And I don't have a whole lot of new information on this saga, but it's just very weird that this isn't done.
Yeah, that could be it. Well, if you're Jaylen, would you take it? How would you take
the money?
No. I'm saying, obviously. Yeah. So I'm saying, how would you take it if you saw a trade for Porzingis like that? Like, would you be like, great, like the trade that helped me, or are you thinking, wait a minute, that could be potentially another guy who, you know, you have to re-sign, and then me, and then Tatum. Like, do I really want to lock into this thing right now, or is this my way to get out? You know what I mean? Like, is that something
it
that
raises your eyebrow for sure, especially if he was a Marcus proponent. And I know they had their ups and downs through the years, and we
Yeah,
talked
but
about
see,
that with
but then
Marcus,
that's weird though, right, Bobby? Because like if you're all in, right? If you're all in being a Celtic and you're all into getting that championship with the Celtics, and you're like, man, we got Kristaps Porzingis. Like, do you put something out there? Or are you excited? I mean, I guess that's outside.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything.
That's outside of Jalen's character, I guess. But I don't know, man. It's so.
There couldn't be any less. There couldn't be any less enthusiasm right now.
But that's the thing, though. That's who he is too. He's very mysterious like that, and you wonder where his head is at. But yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. I mean, maybe he wants to go through the whole ordeal of being wine and dine and talking to other teams, or is he not
sweat?
Yeah, he's not hearing something that's going to make him sign right away. You wonder, but yeah, I mean, being traded is obviously a risk. But if you're Jaylen, I don't think you're necessarily thinking about that, because if that does happen, you're like, well, here we are. I guess you guys don't really want me. You know, all that talk wasn't genuine. You know,
it was weird right from the moment he got asked at that press conference after Game 7 about negotiations this summer. It was just like,
that 15-second. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, like the 10-12-second pause, and then I don't understand the question. Yeah,
you got to be thinking about every scenario right now here with him, because it's changed. There's no other way to put it at this point. I mean, they've had almost 2 weeks to do this, and it doesn't seem any closer to being done, even after a full weekend of being here with them in Vegas.
The CLNS Media Network is powered by FanDuel. Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed.
If a comprehensive solution is what you need for your supplement routine, then try AG1. You get a free year supply of vitamin D, 5 free travel packs of AG1 with your first purchase. Just go to drinkag1.com/garden. Make sure you hit that. drinkag1.com/garden. Check it out. That's AG1.